Hi guys, you are welcome to another interesting episode of the Internet Business Show on DABA TV. My name is Izzi. This is the show where we get to bring you individuals who are very vast in doing the internet business and who have actually leveraged on the internet to gain financial freedom. My name is Izzi, like I mentioned before, and I've got a guest in the studio, but I'm going to go for a short break, and when I am back, we're going to get to meet our guests in the studio, and then we'll have fun on this session. Stay with me. We'll be right back. You're welcome back from that short break. Before I went on the short break, I introduced myself, of course, and this is the Internet Business Show. And I told you that we're going to be having fun in the studio today with someone who's been creating digital content for a while. He's actually a lead digital web producer at the Invincible Orthodontist. That's an international brand, right? And of course, he's a YouTuber and someone you must have come across once or twice on your timeline if you're talking about mobile devices, phones, and all that. I'm talking about none other than Izzi Boye, popularly known on Instagram as Izzi_Boye. He's in the studio with us today. Izzi, it's nice to have you here.
Yeah, nice to be here.
You know, I've been trying to understand how the world around this content creation thing for you guys is, because it's really very interesting to see you guys, the entire team creating content. Nigerians particularly, I'm very proud of you. So before we really go deep into talking about content creation in the internet space, I would like you to tell us about you. Who is Izzi Boye? Let's meet you officially.
Okay, I am Izzi Boye. Well, I usually have to introduce myself twice because most people think it's a nickname. Izzi is the first name. Boye is the last name. That's the name my parents gave to me, so it's not a nickname. And I'm from Delta State. I grew up in Delta State. I studied chemistry education from Delta State University. So I didn't start all tech, but I've always had the interest in tech. I've always been that gadget guy that you meet when you want to diagnose something on your phone or configure your phone. So that's always just been there. But let's just say I fully embraced tech in 2019, tech content creation in 2019. But before then, I've always been all about smartphones, gadgets, always had that. I want to have my gadget space or gadget room. But I didn't realize it's going to come in the form of tech content creation.
So let's get it clear. Today, you have your own gadget space.
So
More like a mini studio or something.
I have my small studio that has all my gadgets, the way I want it to be pretty much. So it's more like my man cave. That's where I create. That's where I game if I want to game. That's where I pretty much spend most of the time. Sleep sometimes too.
Interesting. All right, then. So I'm going to say a short story about how I discovered Izzi Boye. So I never used to have Nigerian content creators on my timeline. So one time I got a device, it's a Samsung device. Then I intentionally YouTubed how this phone is and, what are the features of the phone I really need to find out and use. And then the first person that popped on my YouTube timeline is Izzi Boye. Then I clicked, and then your content was really, really educating. And from there, I think while the video was playing, I saw your Instagram handle. And while I went back to Instagram, before I could search you, Instagram is already recommending you to me and other content creators like yourself. And it was easy. All I need to do was just click on the follow button. And ever since then, I see that your contents are really nice, engaging, and educating. And that takes me to the second question. For you to be that good with this content creation, how long have you been creating tech content for?
Okay, I started creating tech content in September 2019. And you never start good. You just have to be confident enough to know that, let me just go. So if you go watch my first video, first 10 videos, you will not see this confident person. You will see this shy person talking slowly. You will laugh pretty much. You will not be able to relate that person to this person now. But yeah, everybody has to start from somewhere, and you start learning from each video you make. You start improving and improving. The improvement still continues. Tomorrow, my video or my content quality might not be the same as now. But since 2019, I've pretty much started creating tech content.
And of course, we can rightfully say in the future, that energy, that quality, that freeness of speech in front of the camera could get better.
It should. Hopefully, it should get better. I've always been a shy person.
So how did you even get into this niche at the first place? Was it the love for devices? What brought you into creating content for?
Okay. So a month before I started creating tech content, I did not realize I would be creating tech content. While I've always been that gadget guy that can recommend devices for people because of how I know about them and how much interested I am in them, I was actually going to do travel blogging.
Okay.
I wanted to create content around reviewing places I traveled, so I wanted to travel. But then I needed to change my phone. I was using a Samsung Galaxy Note 8. I was updated with the latest devices, and Note 10 was launching soon. And I was watching videos about leaks of when the Note 10 would launch. I was seeing a lot of American creators, Super Saf, MKBHD. I was watching them. But in the process of my research, I realized that I was not seeing Nigerian tech content creators. And these devices would be used in Nigeria. It just struck me. What comes naturally to you is smartphones, gadgets. Why not make content around this instead of... I actually previously had a blog where I was writing tech, but it's not easy to keep up with a blog. So when I now started researching to create content for Nigeria, I started seeing the Nigerian tech content creators. Like you said before, it was when you searched, you started seeing it.
Yeah.
When I started searching for how to create for Nigeria, I started seeing the Nigerian content creators, Fisayo, Eric Okafor, and the others. So pretty much gave me all the boost I needed that, this is something you can do. And I started.
And the only girl in the niche, like you mentioned initially,
Miss Techie.
Miss Techie. I mean,
she's doing wonderful.
that's another thing. And that reminds me, I think I want to put this out to any female who's watching now. You are not limited to the things you're able to do. Being the only female in the niche, I mean, her contents are really, really also very much amazing. Now, I want to know, I know there are a lot of young persons who are interested in this, or like you said, smartphones comes naturally to them and they can play around smartphones on their own, make research, but they don't really know that a thing like it really exists that you can take up. What's this niche called to start with?
Generally, it's called tech. But then if someone asks me, I would mostly say either say mobile tech or tech, but mostly smartphones, because it's not just smartphones. There's laptops, there's smartwatches, accessories. But if you go through our pages or my pages, you're mostly going to see smartphones. So, but we'll still just call it tech. But you can call it smartphone tech.
Smartphone tech. And why I need to bring that out is because it is this confusion with creatives.
Yeah.
You know this thing, but you don't really know how to streamline it into something that makes you money. We're still going to get to the part or how you are able to monetize this niche, and we're still going to get to that part. But for now, you talked about when you started really searching, then you started discovering persons in the niche. Is there a niche community, if there's any language like that?
So I would say the tech community in Nigeria, particularly the tech content creator community in Nigeria, is friendly. Like, it's the type that...
That's good to know. It's friendly.
Yeah, it's the type that when let's just say, a lot of us are in communication, like we are in contact with each other, such that if you are doing something around your tech that maybe you're making a certain mistake, one person is going to reach out to you and tell you, you should be doing it like this, you are doing it wrong, and help you improve your content. So as long as you are doing something good, as long as you are putting in the effort, one way or the other, creators are going to rally around you, help you achieve things that would have taken you longer time to achieve on your own. So in as much as there are people that can work on their own, because of how the tech community in Nigeria is, you kind of achieve things faster. I bought my camera earlier, let's just say a year earlier than I planned to buy my camera, because I had creators that were encouraging me and helping me make sure I get the best quality I could get because they saw the work I was putting in.
Trust me, Izzi Boye's contents are really great out there on Instagram. Like I mentioned initially, check him out on Instagram at Izzi_Boye. You won't get anything about phones. Like there's some things, you're the one, if you pick up my device now, you're going to see this clock that pops on my phone and it's ticking. Now he's smiling. You know what I'm talking about? I got that from him. And that very morning when I fixed it, I went to Google Play Store. I got my phone came with it by default. I didn't have to download.
Yeah.
So I just went to follow the instructions and I put the clock on my phone and it's ticking. Then I asked my colleague, do you have this feature on your phone? He uses, I think it's the S20 Ultra. He uses it and it's like, I've not seen this on something. Like, yeah, I know. I follow Izzi Boye, All right, so we're going to go on a short break, and when we come back from this short break, we're going to talk about his experience and escapades dealing with mobile brands in Nigeria and other things related to, including the challenges in this particular niche. We'll be right back after the short break.
Have you heard of Bitcoin?
Yes, I have. I mean, Bitcoin is everywhere.
I don't hear him now.
I'm not Bitcoin boom. In here go.
Mo mọ̀ wípé àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wọ́n máa ń rà á
látòrí kọ̀ǹpútà wọn tàbí orí fóònù wọn láti fi di owó mọ́lẹ̀.
Have you heard of OBX?
OBS taɓa labarin su ba.
I don't hear him.
Here, this is our app. Try buying Bitcoin.
Okay, that would be nice. Thank you.
How's the app say fine?
I just got my first Bitcoin from OBX.
No. I don't buy $100.
Komai sauki, komai a cikin ruwan sanyi.
Amma dum not in photo.
That's easy.
Experience crypto with ease. Download the OBX app now.
Mo ti ra tó ní $100. Hey!
All right, you're welcome back from that short break. I've been having a swell time with Izzi Boye, a content creator, a YouTuber, a tech content creator, and a YouTuber who's been with me in the studio today. Has been very helpful to me. And I looked forward to this day when I'm going to sit with him and then we'll have this conversation just for one thing, so that you benefit most of the things I've gotten just following him on Instagram. And now we're going to talk about this, Boye. You don't just create content. You create content with real tech products. Talking about mobile phones. One time you did with a laptop. These are real products, real brands. Tell us your experience dealing with these brands.
Okay. First off, as a content creator, you get to a level where brands want to work with you.
Yeah.
They don't work with you at the start. You work your way up to a certain level of the brands can now see you. They can no longer ignore your content, and they want you to make content for them because they appreciate how you make your content and want to tap into your audience. So let's just say my experience working with brands, Nigerian brands, have been pretty straightforward. I think the difficulty you might experience is actually getting the brands to come at first, getting to that level where the brands will
Notice
start.
you.
Yeah, because Nigerian brands are not the kind that you send a message and then they start giving you stuff to
come
make.
for you,
Yeah, you'd message them, you might be ignored, and you just get frustrated. So it's more like you work, grow your audience, and then the agencies that are in charge of the brands would notice you, and then they want to work with you. And once they have contacted you, it's mostly straightforward. There is no difficulties about it. It's easy to work with them as long as you are able to understand each other and you know what they want from you. And most of the time, since it's content you are creating, it's usually nothing out of what you do. They just want you to do something for them. What you do normally, but then do it for them.
Just do it for them.
Yeah. So it's a straightforward something.
Interesting. Now, before we really get into this session, we're having a conversation and I talked about, creating content to try to tap from your wealth of knowledge in that niche. And then you said, oh, you even have content. It's easier for you. How about a case where I need to buy content?
Yeah.
Now, that is something you may need to explain. I understand the concept of buying content now because I had that conversation personally with you. Is there something you want to get clearer to anyone on the outside there watching this right now?
Yes, I think this is a question that I was even thinking of making a video about, because
Great.
when I unbox a device, there's somebody in the comments, what do you do with all these devices after you unbox them? So as a content creator, not every content creator starts out having money.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, brands only notice you after you've gotten to a certain level, meaning before you get to that level, you have to get devices if you're a tech content creator. Now, there are creators that found a way to not have to buy the devices. They maybe make their content around leaks, making reactions about new tech as it comes out, and people follow them for that. And then there are those of us that, when I want to make a video about a device, I need to have the device so that I can test it in a way my audience would be able to get the value they need. Now, because I had a 9-to-5 before I started my YouTube, I was able to save up money, buy a couple of phones to review at the start. So some of the phones, or most of the phones you see on our channels are bought. We buy them.
Most of the phones used for your content
Most of
are
them
bought.
Yes, we have
With
to
your own money.
Yes.
Wow.
We have to buy them, then review them, keep them for some time, because, I don't just make a video and sell the phone or get rid of the phone, because in the future, some people appreciate long-term reviews. How is this device performing after 3 months?
Yeah, you still have to go back.
So if in the future no new tech is coming out, there's usually a period of drought for tech, like no tech is coming out this period. You go back to those old phones. How is this phone performing now? Let me make content for my audience to see. So sometimes you're actually obligated to keep them because of how you are able to compare it with other devices. Because other devices will come out, and then you, the consumer that wants to buy, you are thinking between this Redmi phone and this Samsung phone, which should I buy?
Yeah.
me that as a content creator have bought that Samsung phone, maybe the Redmi phone comes out, I would make a video and go and pick that Samsung phone and do a comparison video because I have kept the phone. Now, as a content creator that is starting out that needs to get money back so that I can buy new tech, after making the video, I'll probably have to sell it at a loss because it's an open device. Nobody will buy it, a device that is not sealed for a new price. Sure. So I have to sell it to recover money. That's how I pretty much started. Buy, make a video, sell, recover money so that I can buy the next device.
Yeah.
And then because it's not really a straightforward process, and if I didn't really have a job that was giving me some funds to put into that, it would have been much more difficult. So sometimes what I also did when I didn't have funds was, because I have WhatsApp contacts and I was that person that you go to when you want to configure your device, people can easily know that he's a tech person. So if I put on my WhatsApp status that I am doing tech YouTube, nobody will be surprised that what does this one know about tech YouTube? I know that he's a phone guy. So when a new phone is coming out, sometimes it's not the phone is out and it's in the market today. The brands announce it. And when the brands announce it, because I do not have the money to buy that phone at that particular time, but I am interested in reviewing that phone, I will put on my WhatsApp status that this phone is coming out. These are its expected features. Who is interested in using this phone? If you want to buy this phone, let me offer you a certain percentage of the money so that I will buy the phone. I will use the phone for a week or two and give it to you when I'm done.
You do that?
I did that at the start because I didn't have the money to buy it.
At the time,
and
that's quite creative. I'm surprised.
I didn't have the money to buy it at the time,
and there were people who did.
Yeah, I had friends that were supportive. I think the first flag S20 I reviewed, that one I didn't even have to tell him. The friend just called me. We're not even very close friends. We go to the gym together. Yeah. And he called me. He wants to buy S20, and we went to buy it together. We're in the car coming back, and he was like, "You would like to review it, right?" I said, "Yes, hold it for 1 week." That's a supportive friend. I didn't have to pay anything for that. Yeah. So you have friends that will do that for you. You have friends that will tell you, "Okay, I want to buy these devices. How much are you willing to put on top?" Because you have put it out there. Yeah. And then maybe top it with 10,000 naira, and I'll be able to do that. Now, that will not be a challenge if Nigerian vendors were more friendly with working with creators, especially in Lagos. If you meet a friend or a retailer that, please give me a device, let me hold for a few weeks, I will talk about your store in my video. How many followers do you have? You are just starting out. They are not interested.
Interestingly, you're returning the device.
Yes. So these retailers in Nigeria don't really, because when they have to give you a device, it's going to be a new device, and when they've opened it, they will not be able to sell it for full price. They can't give it to you. So the easiest thing you can do is go to those ones that are on display and make your video. But then sometimes these display units are different from the retail units because of the entire functionality. Yeah. So you can you don't get the kind of shots you want to get, and you can't unplug the phone and take it out to do the complete review you want to do. So these are challenges you would have to face, and then you start looking for ways to be able to buy these devices. But then when you've grown to maybe minimum 5,000 subscribers, some brands will start looking at, okay, you have been making this content for a while. You actually, if you do your content well enough, it gets to a point where when you search, someone is researching a particular phone, your videos are among the videos that come up. They watch and they're searching another one, your videos are among the videos that come up.
You definitely got to that, because that was how I discovered you.
Yeah, so then brands have now noticed you, and then they want to be like, okay, he has the audience, he does his video well. Let's send him a device so that he can make for us. Let him talk about this device that is coming up. And then that's how you get devices. So why we buy most of these devices, like this, I'm only the Pixel 6a, Google will not send Nigerian creators devices. Google is not officially here. Apple will not send Nigerian creators devices. They are not officially here. So if you see a Nigerian creator reviewing an Apple or a Google device, they probably bought it with their money, or they have link with a vendor.
You guys have money. Because I saw a Nigerian tech content creator for mobile phones, baptizing iPhone 14.
Valor reviews.
Just baptizing them. And just for the fun. The funny thing is, he didn't say anything in one of the videos. He just baptized and bring it out. I'm like, okay, interesting.
Valor reviews.
Now, still on that, let me get this out from everything you said. You mentioned that you got your own camera.
Yes.
You had invested your money getting devices just to make reviews. And you had done a barter system. Okay, buy this, I bring in these partnerships, and all that. These are, I will call them personal investments.
Yes.
Just to create content. I'm trying to highlight these things because there is no path that seems totally easy. But if you're willing to put in the work, that is where it comes out. So, Boye, do you think that so far, or Izzi Boye, do you think so far that you have gained or you have seen the benefits, or there's the good side of making all these investments in yourself and in the content you've been creating so far?
Definitely, there is benefits. That's why I'm able to still keep doing it, right? So when I started out, the reason I did, the way I bought my Galaxy Note 10 Plus to use to start, I could have bought a camera, but I chose to buy the Note 10 Plus because what I wanted then was a phone. But then I decided to make content. I could have bought a camera, but I didn't invest in a camera because what if I don't like creating content after a while? So I started making my phone my camera. I used it for up to a year, at least a year. I got to 5,000 followers with my phone, filming with my phone. The first kind of lights I used were floodlights, like those street lights outside. I didn't know much about it. I just went to one store, bought one floodlight, carry white cloth on top of it. Well, you see the first video, you would know. So the first year, you're not getting returns. YouTube itself has this monetization requirement. Brands are not bringing money, so it's you that is buying. When you've grown to a certain stage and brands start coming in, and then you start making YouTube AdSense money, give or take, with time, you start seeing the returns on those investments. With time, you now have money to buy devices and not have to tell somebody, let me top up your funds. Let me buy it. I can buy it myself and keep it for as long as I want to because the funds are now coming. The content creation is now bringing enough money because of brand deals, sponsorships.
They're now visible to many brands. Talk about Izzi Boye on Instagram. He has 114,000 followers. That's a huge one. So he said minimum of 5K, you can, start doing. He's way far from 5K. He's not on 5K, he's not on 10K, he's not on 20, he's not on 50. We're talking 114,000 followership on Instagram, and that's great. Now let's talk about how consistent you were leading to creating or having to gather 114,000 persons. How easy is it staying consistent with content ideas, and how do you come up with these ideas?
Okay, that's 2-in-1 question.
Yeah.
So how consistent I was. I started creating content in 2019 for YouTube mostly. I started creating content for I was posting some of this content in Instagram though, but I started creating content officially or took Instagram seriously because that's where I have the most followers, 114,000 in, let's say, 3 months ago. And that pretty much started out as a challenge between me and fellow content creators. Like, let's make one video every day for Instagram and TikTok. Who doesn't make a video by the end of that day pays 5,000 naira to every other person?
And nobody wants to pay.
And nobody wants to pay. So that was how we started creating. It was a challenge. And within the first month, we saw how growth was exponential. Instagram started promoting. I'm sure everyone, there's no how you scroll through Instagram for like 15 minutes and not see a tech content creator, right? Because Instagram started promoting us because of the content we are creating daily. And Instagram was promoting Reels. It worked for us. So there was this exponential growth from 6,000 to 100,000 within a month. And that's how I got to 100,000 followers on Instagram. So, and then since Instagram content is 1 minute, I could sit down within 3 hours and create an Instagram content. Unlike YouTube, where I have to plan it for 2-3 days, work, edit longer videos. And then people seem to have related more with Instagram. So in the consistency part, you have to make up your mind that I want to start creating content for this particular period. You can just give yourself a challenge, experiment. Let me create content for 1 month first and see how far. And don't miss out. Eventually, you might see the growth and it's something that impresses you and you are forced to want to continue because while most people are in it mostly for the money, sometimes some of us are interested in seeing numbers grow. Like, I'm interested in looking at my analytics. I posted this video, it does 1 million views. I might not get a single penny from that 1 million views, but I'm happy that 1 million people see my videos. I want to make another one to see if they will see it more. And then before you know, the money that you did not factor into at the beginning starts coming because people want that audience that you're able to reach. They want to be able to reach them as well.
In the real sense, the 1 million persons makes the money, actually, because that's what, like you said, people want to see.
Yeah, so unlike YouTube, that if I get 1 million views on YouTube, I know whether or not a brand comes, money is going to come from that video. If I get 1 million views on Instagram, if a brand doesn't come, I'm not getting money from that video. So that's it.
So interesting. So at the same time, I know consistency itself is not easy.
Yeah.
Let me talk about, let me ask this question. What's your biggest social media break?
Okay. Biggest social media break in terms of growth, right?
Growth, yeah.
It's Instagram. And then like I just mentioned, the content I started creating, experimenting with a challenge. Let's make content one every day for 30 days.
Yeah.
And then after 30 days, we saw the growth and said, okay, let's do it in December.
So how did you grow? Let's assume, could you remember the figure you were at when you started and after the 30 days, what you were looking at?
Okay, so funny story in content creation, you're not doing comedy. So since it's tech, sometimes people might not even see your content. So you might have to do giveaway to get followers.
To get attention, yeah.
So with little by little, some giveaways, some people that come from YouTube, I was at around 5,000 followers on Instagram. And after a while, it grew to 6,000 and it was just there. And then from 6,000, all the way, it started growing all the way to 100,000 within a month. And I think it was not just me. We have Kagan Tech, we have Valor Reviews. All of us, a group, just it just seemed as if a brand called me, like, are you buying followers? And it was interesting because we're not doing giveaways, we're not giving away phones. It was just the
organic
content that was bringing people down. So let's just say that big break came just because of that challenge that we decided to do. Because like I said, the tech community in Nigeria is friendly. If we didn't challenge each other, we wouldn't have, none of us would have had this growth, or maybe only one person would have had that growth. But we kind of all grew together. And then you could easily see people even mistaking us for each other. Some people send you a message, you did a video on this, please link me to it. And I'll be like, no, it's not me. It's some person that did it. So that big break came because we decided to put consistency into creating content. And after a while, shorter than we expected, the growth just came once.
You see, you can't even underestimate the power of consistency and even trying challenges like you said. Imagine moving from 5,000 to 100,000
in a month.
That's a lot. That's a lot. So I don't think you want to joke with that. So if you have an idea you want to pull out, you have a content you're preparing to create, I think this is motivating enough for you to just go out there and start already. And we are looking at, I'm going to ask you 2 more questions before we round it off, and then we'll move to the bonus questions. And this is the penultimate question.
Okay.
Are there brands you are looking to work with in the future? If you could just name them.
Let's see.
Fully officially work with.
Fully officially. First of all, international brands, right? Yes. Like, want to be able to say a brand like Google starts sending or making their products officially available in Nigeria because tech content creators are covering those products, going out of their way to make the products available. To make content around the product available, because we have to order them online.
Yeah.
Apple, although Apple doesn't really care, but maybe Apple will come and then it's easier. The phones will not be as expensive because of the difficulty of getting them.
Yeah.
I would have mentioned Samsung, but then there's Samsung in Nigeria and I've had a few work with Samsung. Them. Yeah. And then banks.
Banks?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Banks are into tech. They make apps. So there's nothing wrong when you meet a content creator. Though there are content creators that are already working with brands. So yeah, banks that have interesting apps that go well with technology, banking is easy with them, like to work with banks. Then maybe brands that can say, okay, let's sponsor you, just be the face of our brand. Maybe 1 or 2 things you want to do. This channel is sponsored by X brand.
Yeah.
They're able to make content around you or make you as a face of something. Though there are content creators that are being brand ambassadors now. There are content creators that have been like that before. So if I can't really pick a brand, right? Although, yeah, I can't pick Microsoft.
That's a nice one.
Microsoft.
But in fact, I would say the way you decided to answer this question even gives it a more satisfactory answer. That's because the whole idea around that is there are a lot of people who keep asking questions like, well, how promising is this niche? Yeah. Is it beyond the followership and the views? These are some of the ways that you can make money doing this business and creating content around this niche. And I really appreciate that you were able to go that deep and talk about it. And so let's see it from this angle. Finally, this is my last question for you before we move on to the bonus session of this interview session. There are a lot of young persons out there who have this passion but do not know how to start. If you're going to tell them 1 or 2 words of advice on how to get started and get started well, what would you rather tell them?
Okay, so this is something, there are creators that when they start out or when they want to start, they go and ask people or maybe fellow content creators, how do I start? And then the advice you mostly get is just start.
Just start.
And they see it as this person doesn't want to. Well, you don't realize that the starting is actually the difficult part, pushing yourself to actually start. When you start, you see results. You know whether it's good or bad and whether you need to improve. And now if you send me a message, for example, and say, I'm trying to start content creation, and I respond and tell you, let me see your channel. You've not done anything. I can assume that you are never going to do anything. You probably, because that starting is not that easy. So if you are able to just tell yourself, take your social media pages, your YouTube as something personal, right? If I'm in my house and I want to experiment with something with nobody watching, I can experiment and feel and nobody's going to laugh at me, right? It's something personal. If I may be a fashion designer and I want to try a new design, I can sit down in my space, sew it, and then maybe make it for somebody else to wear. They can like it, they can decide to not like it. I take that feedback and improve. Now, if as a content creator, I want to start creating content, just the way it was for me, although I would say I had the opportunity of having a 9-to-5 that was able to give me money to buy one or two things I needed. The tech content creation space these days now, because of TikTok and Instagram, has made it easy that you can do it. Creators have been saying use your phone, but it seemed as if it was, you're using big gear and you're telling us to use our phone. Everybody started using their phone. Now TikTok and Instagram made it easy. You can use your phone. You can easily save that money. And instead of you to buy that phone because everybody is buying it, you're buying it because it can create content for you. Sit down in your studio space. The most important thing you need to get is the content. You see, it's not really the gear, the lights, the cameras. It's the content. You can have the most expensive camera system and not have content to put out. So if you are sure that it is this tech I want to go into, take for example, I say I want to be a tech content creator creating about smartphones, and you are only going into it because you see, oh, Fisaya is making a lot of money from tech content creation, but your contacts don't know you as a tech person. Like, they don't see you talk about phones. You are not somebody they want to mention if they ask them, you know anybody that knows about phones? Meaning you probably want to do it because you think there's going to be money in it. You will start with frustration because you will now realize that 1 year, 2 years, the money is not coming.
It's not coming.
You've invested in camera, you've invested in this, the money is not coming.
Likely to just...
So if you're able to, okay, I want to go into content creation, what do I have? I have my phone. I can make videos. Every content creator tells you the most convenient light source is natural light source, right? I can sit in front of my video and make my window and make video. Because you have the content you want to make, you'll be able to create the content. So you're able to experiment. Like, if I start and say, let me do 3 videos first and see, and I go on YouTube and put those 3 videos, I see how people are reacting to those videos. I keep putting out videos. After some time, from the numbers, from how each video is performing, your first video is not going to be the same as your second video. Your 5th video quality is going to be better than your first video quality because you have learned from it.
Over time.
So it is those things that you are improving over time that is kind of improving your quality. But when you want to start and you feel that this content creator from his many phones, he can send me a phone to start. If he sends you a phone to start, tomorrow you will ask for another phone. You have not seen the challenge yet. You have not gotten any difficulty. You've not learned what it means to actually create the content. And then you are able to overcome these challenges that you make. Because if you say, when I say just start, like if you have actually started, when you come to me, for example, for advice, you're not asking me, how do I start? You're telling me, my audio is doing like this, is doing like that. What should I do? You have asked a precise question. I know what to advise you. I'm trying to make video, my lighting is not doing this, it's not doing that. You're asking precise questions because you have started and you've seen the things that you need to. Yes, these are the things that you need to improve. But then if you ask me, how do I start? And I list a list of things for you that you should do, you'll be overwhelmed. You don't know which one to start with. So it's
that can even be more discouraging.
Yes, it's something personal that you have to decide that, let me start it. It's my Instagram page, right? If I wake up tomorrow, I want to delete all my videos. The worst that could happen is, what happened to this guy? He deleted all his videos. I could do that. It's my Instagram page. Instagram is not going to tell me I'm going to block you because you deleted all your videos. Right? So if maybe I started out creating content, if you go through my Instagram page, maybe the first set of pictures, I've never really deleted posts. You'll see just personal pictures, lifestyle, random pictures I snap and post there. If I want to clear my Instagram page of those things, I can, because maybe I experimented with 2 or 3 videos. I didn't like how they turned out. I delete them. I go back to the drawing board and do something again. It's my personal something. I can go on YouTube and put out a video. If I'm not satisfied, I can delete it, right? So experiment. Understand that it's never going to be perfect.
True.
MKBHD is like the #1 guy you can call for tech, but if you ask him tomorrow, he tells you that he wants to make his quality. He's using the most expensive cameras, but he's looking for that quality that, such that no matter where you have gained it from, you are going to be able to hail him for its quality.
Sure.
So it's because there's always something to improve. So there's no way you are going to start with that best quality. Every content creator you admire today, don't admire them from their current videos. Go and look for their first videos.
Their true box.
What inspired me to actually create when I started seeing Nigerian content creators, I went to their page and scrolled to the very first video so that I would know whether I should waste my time and start. And when I saw Fitayo's first video, I smiled. There's this guy, I saw his video as well, made unboxing. He was actually the one that I saw, and I'm like, no, I should start creating. I saw what he was able to do. It doesn't have the quality of all these guys, but the information that got me to his video, I got it from the video. So I'm like, I should be able to have more resources, right, to be able to do more. There's somebody with less resources already doing it, and I think I need to buy a big camera to start. That's the challenge most people have. They think they need money. I'm sure you might have come across this guy, Ajibola Godwin, on TikTok.
Ajibola Godwin, it sounds very familiar.
He always has bread in his background.
Yes.
Does he have big lights?
No, actually, yes.
Is he not getting the audience and people like him for that?
Another thing amazing is most content creators use just very random backgrounds. Not like their homes.
Yeah.
So I know this guy who plays football on TikTok and he uses his house. It is not painted. It is not properly roofed, the windows. But I'm not looking at the background. And he draws a lot of viewing and followers.
Because the content is what they are there for.
Yeah, so
they will see the content first. Yeah, there will be people that will come and say, this is your background, what is there? They will abuse you for it. But you know that this is what you have.
Yeah.
Right? You are not trying to impress anybody. You are trying to put out content. The Ajibola that I'm talking about, there are people that have abused him for his bread and his background. He embraced it. If you don't like it and you feel that you can do something, give him money, let him change it.
Let him change it, true.
But it is the content that people are coming for. There are people, you are not following him, but you are seeing his content. There are people that are going to him, leave my FYP, I'm seeing you all the time. But he has known the kind of content he wants to create. He has planned out how he's going to make his content. Now, as he starts making money, because he has gotten the audience, when a brand is coming, they are not coming to him and say, change your bread background. They want his audience. So as time is going on, he would now decide that, okay, I don't want to be shooting with bread background anymore. Let me get a studio. Let me get a camera. Let me get this, let me get that. He is not at that comfortable position where he can afford those things, or where he feels like I should invest more. But he has solved the most important part, content. So that's just the key. The content is the key. If you have an idea and you have a list, you are sure that for the next one or 2 or 3 weeks, you have content available. How you execute it matters less. What you have in your background matters less. Just make sure that the content is out there for people to see it.
Interesting. In summary, just make sure you have your content and tick all other boxes as you go.
So
and
make sure you do everything do everything necessary to just start. No matter how bad it looks, start.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Izzi, for the time on this episode of the Internet Business Show. So far, we met him officially. We talked about his journey in the internet business. We talked about the niche itself. We talked about his challenges in the niche community here in Nigeria, his experience with brands. It's been fun having this conversation with Izzi Boye, but we are not going to end this session if we do not have that bonus part where we talk a little less on tech and the rest, and then we'll ask other random questions. So let me introduce you to this session before we go on a short break, and then we'll finish off. The questions are mostly precise and straightforward. They don't necessarily have anything to do with your experience or your niche as a tech person, and the answers are going to be as brief as possible. Okay. So we're going to go for this break, and when we're right back, let us see what other thing we can know or learn about Izzi Boye. I'll be right back.
People say crypto is too volatile, but they forget the volatility can make you rich. People keep asking how they can make money with cryptos and the whole NFT and metaverse thing. But the truth is that if you don't get proper education and guide, you continue to lose money if not done properly every day by day. You see, I started buying Bitcoin at $600 in 2016 and my first Ethereum at less than $30 in 2017. And what has helped me over time in winning these markets is study, learning, research, ability to make quality decisions, mastering how to take profit, and how to minimize the losses.
In crypto trading and investments, you can make money fast and you can lose money faster. What we've done at DABA with the Trade and Make Money course is that we have created a program and a community that is helping people make money and profit from the crypto market. In this course, I have shared valuable and practical lessons that can help anyone learn how to analyze the market, do technical analysis, spot profitable trades, use simple tools to analyze the market.
You see, in 2016, I got Bitcoin at $600. In 2017, I got Ethereum for less than $30. In 2020, during the COVID market crash, I told people to keep buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. In 2021, I shared in our various scenarios that people should buy AXS at $0.7, and it went as high as $150 plus in 1 year. In short, we have made a lot of people millionaires from this course and our crypto community, and you could be next.
You see, in 2021, we made big profits on some NFTs and metaverse tokens. There are many sectors in crypto that will continue to perform big this year, from Bitcoin to Ethereum to DeFi to NFTs and layer 1 and layer 2 solutions. Then we start talking about the metaverse, gaming, fan tokens, Polkadot, and more ecosystems. So with this course and our signal room, we'll guide you on how to make money from these various crypto ecosystems by showing you when to buy and take profits.
You see, a lot of people think they can just come into crypto like that with no knowledge, no skill. But if you are going to be a profitable trader and investor, please learn. Be ready to engage in continuous learning and be patient.
You know, I remember when we said this was that when crypto market dips, sometimes it feels like it's never gonna rise.
Yes.
And when it pumps, sometimes it feels like it never
going
to
to
dip.
dip.
So
Yes.
if you understand this and know how it works, you can make profits on the market.
Crypto has given me financial freedom. Short, crypto has changed my life. Are you ready to learn? Are you hungry enough? Are you also patient to see results? Are you willing to take the risk? Are you looking for how to make more money trading and investing in crypto? Then come learn from us. We want to help you win and become a profitable trader and investor. Join us. My name is Chris Annie.
And I am Nolan Amadi.
Visit www.daba.school. Get the Trade and Make Money course to learn crypto trading and investing.
You're welcome back to the final lap of this session with Izzi Boye. This is the internet business show. You're watching DABA TV. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and of course, share this content with your friends who are interested in tech and doing internet business. So we're talking with Izzi Boye, and we're at the point where we do the bonus questions. Izzi, I've got 4 questions for you. The first question is this. When you're not creating content, what's a normal day in your life like? Tech content. You don't, no phones, nothing.
The truth is, I'm always creating or thinking of content, right? So if there is any time, a break I take when I'm not creating content. When I'm not creating content, I'm probably in church, or I'm probably sleeping, I'm probably resting. Maybe I've created content too much. Let me just game.
Yeah.
I have game in my PlayStation in my space and just unwind.
We're going to get
relax more.
Fine, interesting. Okay, so what's your favorite Symbian device?
Symbian device, it's going to have to be the one I used. It was Nokia E5.
Nokia E5. Interesting. What's your favorite place to be at for relaxation?
Okay, I like somewhere quiet, less noise, calm music. Maybe go swimming, just relax. So it's not confined to a specific. Anywhere I can have that.
Or anywhere you can find distance is good enough.
It's good enough. Or I can be in my studio space, just all the lights off. I'm always with the lights off, playing music, playing game, just relaxing.
That takes us to gaming. When you talk about playing game, are you talking about soccer? That's like the most common. You do soccer a lot?
I play soccer.
PES, FIFA?
FIFA. Before PES became what it is now, it was PES. PES was my preference.
Okay, but now you do FIFA.
I do FIFA.
So there was FIFA 19, it's FIFA 20, it's FIFA 21, FIFA 22, and now there's 23.
Yeah.
From between 19 to 23. Have you played 23?
No, I've not.
But you've done 22?
I have 22.
Okay, so you played 19?
I played 19, I played 20. Did I play 20? I played PES for 20.
20, okay. What about 21?
I played FIFA 21 and I
you
played
played
22.
So which are you best at?
I think there's a saying, who don't sabi, right? So whether it's FIFA 19 or FIFA 23, for me, I'm this kind of person that if I've not played it before, the best that can happen is you might have it easy with me for the first 2 or 3 games. After that, I'm sorry.
Okay, because I know there's always a tweak, there's always a change. For example, I really don't enjoy playing 22.
Yeah.
That's because defending in 22 is difficult for me to really grasp. That's one. Then there is this thing with 22 about one player monopoly thing. You get to do the whole run.
That's something from PES.
That's something from PES I'm seeing in FIFA 22.
Yeah.
My favorite FIFA is 20. I enjoy 20 a lot. 1920, because it's more like you build from the bottom to the top. You create every move that is made is credited to you. It's your effort you put in. Okay, interesting. We're talking to... It's even difficult to find a tech person who is not really interested in gaming.
Well, we are mostly introverts, so what do we spend our time doing?
Gaming. All right, so this is the last question I'm going to take on the bonus questions. Dad overnight or husband overnight?
Come again.
Would you rather be a dad overnight? Like, you wake up this morning and you open your eyes, there's a baby crying beside you and you are the father.
No.
But no wife. Or you wake up in the morning and there's a woman beside you and you're the husband.
Husband. Preferably, yes.
So you'd rather be husband overnight than dad overnight?
Yes, because I'm just thinking dad overnight, baby mama and all those kind of things. The child will not have the presence of both parents. So yeah, you have to think about it, baby.
So your decision is because you care so much about the baby?
Yes.
Are you saying you're not capable of taking care of the baby alone?
If circumstances make it so, yes, you have to rise up to the occasion, take on the responsibility.
But if you have to make a choice,
if you are able to put yourself in the position where everything is necessary for that child to develop well, make it available.
Interesting. That's been a fun time with Izzi in the studio today. He's been with us at DABA TV for a while. We've got the session. Thank you for coming, man. We had fun talking to you, and we hope to work with you in the future. This is a tech space, and you being in the tech niche, we'll have a lot to do together in common. Thanks for coming again. This is DABA TV. And if you're watching from anywhere, do not forget to share, like, subscribe, and tell your friends about DABA TV. And don't also forget to follow Izzi Boye. Izzi Boye, tell us where we can find you on all social media. Okay.
Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. All right. So on Instagram and Twitter, on Instagram it's Izzi_Boye. On Twitter, it was Izzi_Boye, but I just got my old account back, so it's Izzi Boye. But you can just search my name, Izzi Boye. There's only one Izzi Boye.
Okay, what about YouTube?
YouTube, yes, Izzi Boye as well.
Izzi Boye on YouTube. So follow him everywhere. The names will pop on the screen, and then you're going to be easily able to find him. And so that's that on this episode of the Internet Business Show. Until we meet again next week, do have a fun time.
Peace out.
And bye for now.
Hi guys, I am Uzwamaka Onoha, and I'm here to tell you that everything crypto happens on OBX. Trade, send, receive crypto easily on OBX. Bye guys.